Topo Athletic is committed to lifelong health and better movement. Topo builds running shoes for those who get out there every day regardless of weather, speed, energy, or mood. Their distinctive fit and feel combines instinctive human movement with modern performance and lightweight comfort to help you keep going, keep trying, and keep moving. Discover the Topo difference and step into a run experience unlike any other.
Everybody, welcome to our Tuesday Fireside Chats. We are going to have a returning guest. His name is Brandon Hozack, and let me invite him here while I give him his introduction, because one of the things we have found is when we ask our guests to give us their story, they are very humble about it, and so instead I'm going to introduce Brandon in a way that's going to be the way he would describe himself, I should say, not better than he is. So Brandon Hozack is an ultra runner and a tattoo artist. Make sure you check out both of his accounts. And he is living life to the fullest despite battling AS. His motto actually is battle tested, and I want him to explain that a little bit more as we get into the conversation. But first off, Brandon, thank you for joining us. How are you doing today, man?
Hey, I'm doing great, dude. It's good to see you again, man.
No kidding. I was introducing you and saying that this is your second time on the show, so we had a great turnout the last time you were here. We had a fun conversation. As a matter of fact, in almost every conversation we've had since then, somebody's like, is it okay if I curse? And I'm like, yeah, fucking curse. We tell a story about how when I cursed on the show, you were like, wait a minute, we can curse here? And I was like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, dude.
That was awesome.
I remember that. That was funny.
Appreciate you. Again, thank you very much for joining us. For those of you that don't know, we're going to kind of go backwards to go forwards a little bit in this conversation. Brandon went to Cocodona earlier this year, and he didn't finish it. We're going to talk about the lessons that he learned from that, but I want to go into, from Cocodona, what he did next, or his next two things, and how that's going to lead into going to Cocodona again in 2024. So take us through, Brandon, if you don't mind, what happened at Cocodona that you took into the Hellz Bellz 50-miler, and then we'll talk about Cascades 100 after that, because Hellz Bellz was after Cocodona, was the first race after Cocodona.
Yeah. So in Cocodona, I learned that I don't get the luxury of resting for very long or for very often, and I need to earn like my breaks, like my rest. And so like when I come into an aid station, it doesn't mean I get to rest. I have to like plan ahead, and if I move at this pace and I get to say like the third aid station at this time, then I can take a break. So I have learned how to go for a long period of time without resting and like really earning that rest. And so I learned that in Cocodona. And so in Hellz Bellz, I didn't rest until I think I like past 50K was like the first time that I like actually like let myself rest at an aid station, because there was like one cutoff time there. And so I had plenty of time to like sit down and get some food and talk, because like I love aid stations, dude. Like it's a problem. It's a problem, like I could sit in an aid station and bullshit for hours.
Well, dude, you're out there for hours on end, mostly by yourself, right?
Yeah.
And finally come up upon an aid station, and it's like that human connection. You just want to have it and embrace it.
I don't know what's more upsetting, like not getting to rest or not getting to like bullshit with the aid station people. It's sad. It's like I come in, I get my shit, I leave. It's like I leave and I'm sad every time. But I know that like I'm working towards a bigger break somewhere. And so I learned that in Cocodona, and then I did that at Hellz Bellz, and I did that at Oregon Cascades 100, and that's the way that I have to race. And so it's like I'm coming to like terms with like I don't get to enjoy every aid station, but if I want to finish a race, that's how I have to race.
So can you explain to the people why you have to do what you do? And I'm guessing it's because of the AS. want people to understand what it is, that you're dealing with, so they understand why you're going through what you're going through.
Yeah, so AS, I have an autoimmune disease. It's called ankylosing spondylitis, and it's like a rare form of arthritis, and it affects primarily your spine, usually like L5, S1, like your lower back, and it causes your bones to fuse together, and then it like brings about like like you're immobile, like bending over for me is like really hard sometimes, and um it's the goal of the disease is to like keep you from moving, and so like you have to do the opposite. You have to move as much as possible, and I have found as long as like I'm moving and I'm not in a fixed position, then like the disease can be manageable to a certain extent, but also there's like a side of like a mental side of the disease where it kind of has a way of taking things away from you in your life. And if I can run 30 miles or 80 miles or what, like that's empowering. I'm taking back what that disease takes from me. And like running is it's just like a vehicle that I use to take these things back that AS has taken from me. And I'm just trying to share that with others, that like, hey, we can still do like anything we want. It's just like it's going to look a little bit different and it's going to take a little bit more work, but like we're capable of doing things that a lot of humans are not doing.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. And so I want to go back to the aid station thing, because I just, as you're talking, the only thing playing in my mind is like, what's the best aid station this dude has been at, and how much fun did he have? Do you remember?
let me see, man. Honestly, I think probably my favorite aid station was I was pacing Helgi at Bigfoot in August, and I don't know what mile we were at, or I don't know what aid station we were at. It was in the middle of the night, and like he fell asleep in the chair. But dude, they had a huge fire going, and they like had like people coming up, and they're like, "Do you want a hamburger? Do you want chicken strips?" Like everything was like made to order, dude, and it was like hot, and they had like several like places where they were cooking, and like everything was like brought to me. It was fucking incredible, dude. I could have sat there. I like Helgi, like he only wanted to stay, for like 15 minutes. I'm like, dude, like take a 2-hour nap, man. Like,
I will tell you. So one of my favorite aid stations, I was pacing a friend of mine, Greg, at Cruel Jewel in Georgia, and we're going up this like just totally vertical climb, and it looks like there were Edison lights hanging above us, and I was like, oh, the aid station's got to be right there. Then we finally break through, and it was the tree line, and what we actually saw were stars. So the next aid station, like 10 or 15 miles.
Oh man.
There, just like that, man. They had, and I eat a vegan diet, so they had like vegan hot dogs and vegan burgers, and it was so good.
Oh, so good, dude.
And unlike
so good.
Greg was like, I'm going to sit here for like 20 minutes, man. I was like, good. Let's rest and relax and eat all we can before we have to trudge the next 20, 30.
It's like those 20 minutes are like I don't know, it's like you're getting the most out of those minutes of your life ever when you've gone that far, and like food is hot, and I don't know, dude. You know what I'm talking about.
The aid station folks, like you mentioned, they're awesome, because they know you've been out there for 20, 30, 40 hours, depending on how long the race is, and they are just like catering to you and having fun with you and laughing.
Just like someone asking, like, do you want something to drink? Yeah. And then bringing it to you is like fucking incredible. It's like, oh my.
So are you finding that, like, because you got to keep moving to get to the finish lines and not being able to stay at the exchange, are you just loading up, your pack with tons of shit now?
Yeah.
Then
my pack is heavy, dude.
Yeah.
And I've gotten better at like really calculating like what I need to eat and when, so I can carry less. And when I get to aid stations, dude, like I eat like I can eat. like I can eat a ton, and I do. That way I can carry a little bit less.
Yeah.
And but yeah, and it's like I have dietary problems too. So like dairy and gluten are really hard on me until I get to like a certain point in the race when my body's like can digest stuff faster, it seems
Okay.
like. But yeah, I carry a ton of shit, dude. And but it's like I've gotten better at trying to minimize that by racing smarter. And like I remember in Cocodona when I like kind of came to after sleeping like a day and like looking through my pack, I'm like, fuck, man, there's so much shit in here that like I don't need. Like I'm like, where did I even get this? So I've gotten much better at like being more my buddy, Matt, that I talk about on Instagram a lot,
Yeah.
like being more tactical in my approach. Like bring what you're gonna need.
So let's use a 50 miler as an example. What's the first thing you're loading from a food perspective, nutrition perspective into your pack for a 50 miler?
Like anything, dude, where like I'm gonna be out for 10 miles or longer on a section.
Okay.
I like to bring like some spring energies
Yeah.
because they have high calorie.
Yep.
And then I bring Lara bars. I always bring those.
Yep.
And then peanut butter sandwich and chips.
So I have a story for you. So we were talking about aid stations. So a few years ago, I raced Lake Sonoma 50, and I got to the halfway mark in like 5 hours, and I'm like, perfect. I'll be done in like 11, 12 hours for the 50 miler. Would be great. Coming back took me almost 9 fucking hours to finish. Yeah, it was brutal. I got to this one aid station, and I was like, I just need to sit down. It was so hot. And this lady's like, would you like something to eat? I was like, oh, I'll take one of those, squares of peanut butter and jelly. Like this thing had been sitting out in the sun all day. And so like the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches you gave me might as well have been a brick. Like it was awful. And it was after all this time, all I wanted was something soft and chewable. And she gave me like crusty, ratty, stable bread, it felt like.
Oh yeah, dude, it's like you're going for that long and that far, and it's like you're working hard for like, oh, I just want like ginger ale with ice in it, and they don't have ice, and it's like your world has just been like crushed, dude.
It's crushing. It's like it's hard enough as it is, and then you add that on top of it.
Yeah.
Like, finish this.
Yeah, dude.
So how do you roll then? How do you roll Hellz Bellz 50 into the Cascades 100 then? Because you finished the Hellz Bellz 50, and so now did you register for the Cascades before Hellz Bellz, or did you register after because you finished?
So I came home from Cocodona, and I registered for Cocodona like 2 days later, and then like 3 or 4 days later, I was like, I need to run 100 miles. Like I need to go 100 miles. And so I registered for Oregon Cascades, and then Hellz Bellz is like basically in my backyard, and I'm really good friends with the people that own the race company. So like I just do that one every year.
Okay.
And so I knew I was going to do that one. But that was a good one, dude, because it was so hot. It was so hot, and it's the first. Like I was having a really good race, but it was the first time where I had got nauseous from the heat, and I was like, if I don't slow down, I may not finish because it got so hot, and so I had to slow down. And that was like really like the first race I feel like I actually made smart decisions. Like you can have a better race if you try and race smarter.
Yeah, slow down.
It's not. Yeah, it's not all about just like fucking destroying yourself. Like there is some tactics to this.
Yeah. So when you race, like when you raced at Oregon Cascades, did you have a pacer? Do you have a pacer?
No, and I learned that in Cocodona. Like for me, less is more.
Okay.
And I wanted to go do the Oregon Cascades by myself. I didn't want anyone to pace me. And it was just my girlfriend that crewed me, and she did awesome, like so good, and helped me to have such a good race. But when I'm by myself, I learned that when I'm alone, it's like I hold myself more accountable
Okay.
to what I'm trying to do and what my goals are. And I felt in Cocodona, like when I had a pacer, almost like, oh, they'll do some of the work for me, or they'll keep me on track for this. And I didn't like the way it made me feel. Um, and I just, like, I function better when I'm alone. And I, like, I love like West Plate, and I have my buddy Dave Stinchfield. They do all these 200s alone, and now I don't want to like drop bag the whole thing, dude. I want to have a crew,
Yeah.
but and I think next year at Cocodona, I'm gonna have just like one or two pacers for like long sections where I'm gonna be sleep deprived.
Yep.
But other than that, dude, I prefer to be alone.
Yeah. Do you think, and I understand that completely, because I know at Cocodona, my concerns oftentimes shifted to the pacer who was there with me, and like, how are they doing? Are they getting enough food? Are they getting enough calories and liquids? And at some points, you're like, I really just need to worry about myself. Am I eating my dream?
Yeah.
I totally understand. So when you were going through the Oregon Cascades, were you, as you were progressing through it, were you like, yeah, I got this. I can fucking do this by myself.
I knew, and to be real honest, and like, I don't mean this like in an arrogant way or anything, but it's like coming from what happened in Cocodona, I had, of course, like respect for the 100-mile
Yeah.
distance, but I didn't have a lot of concern as far as finishing it. Like, I knew I would finish it. No, like, I didn't know how it could possibly be as bad as Cocodona. Like, and it was only like 12,000 feet of gain, and like the trails were just like super nice. And it was hot. I did feel like shit all the way until like mile 65. I felt terrible. And I mean, the whole first day, I just, like, every time I ate, I just wanted to throw up. But it's like you learn to work through those things and know that it's going to go away. And that's part of the racing that I enjoy, is working through those like low moments,
Yeah.
But I knew.
So,
Oh,
no,
go ahead.
Go ahead. You knew.
I knew going into Oregon Cascades that, like, if I did exactly what I wrote down on my little piece of paper, that I would be fine.
So who's holding onto that piece of paper, you or your girlfriend who was crewing?
So we each
Okay.
had one.
Okay.
And then I have mine hanging up now, and I would just text her like, "Hey, I just left this aid station. I'm X minutes ahead," and then I would come in and I would be like, "Okay, I earned a 20-minute break."
Okay.
So I always have. I think the closest I got to the cutoff was like an hour and 15 minutes, and like I really wanted to rest, dude. Like, I felt like shit. It was at mile like 57, and a bunch of my friends were running the aid station, and so, dude, I went like way far away from the aid station. I went way into the parking lot, so I wasn't around anybody, so I wasn't tempted to stay. And like, I ate and I changed and I left. And it's like, that's how I have to race. And it just, sometimes it sucks. But I knew that Oregon Cascades was going to be a good race. And like, my determination to finish after what happened to Cocodona was like, like as high as it could be. Like, I mean,
Yeah. So you brought up a topic, a really good topic of, you said you changed clothes. And just the other day, I was on Threads, the Twitter version for Instagram, and somebody asked about changing clothes at 100 milers, 200 miles, 250 milers. And 100 miles, I never change shoes or socks. I never have. And at Cocodona, I changed after the first day into a new pair of shoes, and then I wore those shoes the rest of the entire time. So are you changing for comfort, or are you changing because of like a medical need to deal with AS as you're going along?
No, I like to get a dry shirt.
Okay.
Like, that's one of the things I work really hard for, like, to get to these aid stations, is like a dry shirt. And then that aid station I was getting, I got all my night gear, so I was like changed into my night stuff. but like I didn't change underwear or anything like that. And then I changed uh, shoes at like mile 84. But I don't think I really needed to.
Okay.
And so I think like for me, like just like you just said, like for 100 miles, like I don't need to change shoes and socks. And I learned in Cocodona that like you like don't change at every aid. Like just because you're at an aid station doesn't mean you have to do a ton
Yeah.
of shit. Like you can just eat and fill up your water bottles and leave.
Yep.
So like
Yep.
yeah, like less is more, dude. Less is more.
We have a question from the audience. Demaho00 asks, "What shoe do you wear?"
Hey, what's up, dude? Ultra Olympus 5 is my favorite shoe, and every time that I try something different, I'm like, why do I keep trying something different? And so the 100-mile race, I use those, and so that's like in Cocodona this year. I'm the only shoe I'm planning on wearing.
I'll answer the question. So I've run the majority of my races in Hoka's, but I've recently been wearing the Nike Wild Horse, and I really enjoy that shoe for the trails. And I'm going to get myself a pair of Topo mountain racers here real soon.
Dude, I have been wanting to try Topos because my dad loves them. Helgi loves them. I know Westplate loves them. It's like, I mean, I do want to try some Topos.
Yeah, like I know, like I don't really know much about Ultra, but with Topo, they have the wide toe box as well.
Yeah.
And they actually have a little bit of heel to toe drop. A lot of their shoes are about 5 millimeters, give or take. So not maximal, like 12 millimeters, but, you know, minimal, but not zero,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I am going to try a pair of Topos when I need to replace some of the shoes I have now. But if I could pick one shoe, it'd be the Olympus 5.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yes, they are Hoka Ultra Love Child. The Topo. Thanks, Sheldon. Appreciate that. So I find it fascinating, right? Like you're racing 100 milers, I'm racing 100 milers. We're obviously different people. And I think what's fascinating about this is that we do things differently, and then there are a lot of things the same. And so one of the things I want to go into is, because I've raced Cocodona as well, what you learned from this year's Cocodona that you're going to take into next year's Cocodona, both from a training perspective as well as from a racing perspective.
Well, do you want to talk about racing or training first? Because like I'm doing things so differently this year that we should talk each one separately.
Let's talk about training first.
So training. So this year I have a coach. My good buddy Runner Plummer. He started a coaching company called Reaper Running, and I'm his first student or whatever you want to call me. I don't really classify myself as an athlete, but whatever. And he writes my training plans, and then they get emailed to me the day before, and I look at it, and dude, like, I was always like no anti-coach. I like to do things myself, and unfortunately, when you do things yourself, you learn the hard way. And I learned the hard way last May, and I have a coach now. And dude, if you're thinking about a coach, get a coach. Like, it has changed the way that I can do everything, and way less time, like quality over quantity now. Like last year I just would go out and beat the hell out of myself, dude. Like 6 hours, 7 hours, back to back 50Ks, like didn't matter, like whatever. This year it's like tomorrow I have like 1 hour workout. It's a 15-minute warm up, 40 minutes of hill repeats, 5-minute cool down, done, or whatever. And then like my longest workout right now is 2 hours. But it's like that's what helped me to do so well at the Oregon Cascades, is like I'm learning how to actually run. Like in Cocodona, like I didn't know how to run. Like I'm good at just like enduring pain and Like I can climb for days, dude. Like I love to climb, but I can't run for shit. And so now with the coach, it's like I'm actually getting fit, and I feel that fitness.
I'm gonna interrupt you. You do realize how ridiculous it sounds when you tell somebody I can't run for shit and you cover 142 miles, right?
but it's like running like a 9-minute mile last year. I couldn't do it to save my life, you know. And now it's like I can do that, and that's because I have a coach and I'm training much smarter.
Yeah.
For Cocodona this year, and so.
How much training getting involved in your training plans? Do you know? Have you gone like going to the gym and doing squats and lunges and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, weight training?
Yeah.
So I started lifting weights, and I swear by that now, dude. I don't lift like 5 days a week. I don't lift like super heavy, but like, and I primarily lift like just my lower body and like abs, and I think it makes a hang on, I gotta say hi to Emery real quick.
Yeah, do it.
Hey.
And Adina, I agree with you. If you're exercising on purpose, you're an athlete. So next time Brandon answers that question about his coach, he could say, "I'm his first athlete."
Oh, that's cool. My son's watching. So yeah, and like I feel that strength in my body from the weights. And I remember, dude, what happened was I remember coming down Mingus Mountain, and every time I would, and like, dude, Mingus to Jerome, we can talk about that. Fuck me, dude. But I remember like stopping, and every time I would stop, my legs would shake. I couldn't stop them from shaking, and it was because like they were weak. Yeah. And I told myself, I was like, never again, dude. Never again will this happen to me in a race. And so every time I go to the gym, I think about that. Like, I'm not going to let that happen again. And I think there is huge benefits to weight training and running.
So for those of you who don't know about Cocodona and Mingus down to Jerome, Mingus, you're at the top of a mountain. Jerome is at the bottom of the mountain. And when you leave Mingus, you are going straight downhill, and then you essentially have a rock garden that seems to be for miles on end.
Oh, God, dude. Like everybody talks about, the first day at Cocodona is so hard. And it is.
Yeah, going up Lane Mountain was brutal.
Yeah, it's hard. Nobody talks about going from Mingus to Jerome, dude. It is like soul crushing, dude. Like there's still a part of me out there that I'm gonna go back and get this year, dude. Like
it was for me. It was my favorite section. Like I got it.
Oh my God!
I got like a couple 3 hours sleep in the van, and when I woke up, as we're heading to leave Mingus and head downhill, the sun was just rising, and so it was just energy lifting moment right there, and I went flying down Mingus.
See,
I
left at I tried to nap for 1 hour, terrible sleep, and then I left at like 11 a.m. and so I went through the heat of the day, and I got to Jerome at 6 o'clock, and the cutoff was 7. 1 hour before the cutoff. That was, dude, the longest 17 miles of my entire life, dude. It was brutal.
So is Jerome then when you pulled yourself, like that was the last?
No, so what happened was I got into Jerome, and then I left, and I made it to Dead Horse.
Okay.
And then I left Dead Horse, and I did not pull myself out of the race. I got caught by the sweeper.
Okay.
And I can tell that whole story if you want to, because like I'll never forget it. But yeah.
Dude, is like, so we talk about Mingus to Jerome. I vividly remember when we left Jerome and you're going down that sketch area. There's like broken.
Oh God! Oh, dude, and it's like, when the fuck is this gonna end?
That was the worst,
dude. It's so steep, and there's like broken glass and huge rocks in it. Dude, I was getting pissed.
I was angry, dude. Because at Jerome, the aid station at Jerome was phenomenal. They had taken cinnamon rolls and put them in a waffle maker. Like, I was eating like a king. So I was like, okay, I just had a great section from Mingus to Jerome, eating great here now. And then we leave and we go through that broken bottle section. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah. So steep, dude. So sketch. So sketch.
It was horrendous. Like, if they could take out any section of that race, for me, that would be it. Like, just figure out a way to get out of that steep section with the broken bottles, and we're good to go.
Everything. Yeah, dude, I fell a few times for sure. That was, yeah, terrible.
So, did you guys get warnings before the race about not making noise as you went through the town of Jerome?
No, but I do know that that's a thing of being very quiet in Jerome.
Yeah, when we did the race, because we did the inaugural year, they were like, you can't even tap your poles on the asphalt.
Really?
Like, you cannot make any noise. And I was like, I don't understand why. And then I realized that probably when they were setting this whole thing up, that the town of Jerome probably thought there were going to be hundreds and thousands of people going through it all at one time. And then it turns out it's like one person every 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Jerome was like a tough place to get permits or something. I think I heard that on a podcast or something.
They I know like Jamil has had a hard time the first year. I don't know if he still does with getting permits to go through Jerome, but yeah, for sure. So yes, I did. If you're asking me, I did do Cocodona.
I think that's my son.
Yeah,
he knows all about all this stuff.
So what's the strategy that you're going to employ going into 2024's edition of Cocodona based on the lessons you've learned from this year?
So I'm going to move faster because I'm able to run faster now. So like any runnable section, I'm going to try and run, and I'm not going to take any major breaks. I'd like to get to Whiskey Row and sleep, and I would love to get there in like something under 30 hours, I think, and sleep. And then I want to go all the way from there to Jerome and sleep again. I don't want to try and sleep on the top of Mingus. I just want to get that over with. But I think for me, like I changed my clothes a lot, and I took a shower, and then like I was gonna try and leave the course and go to our house and take a nap, and then like what happened was I had these breaks scheduled, and they started getting taken away from me because I didn't have time, and then I was like angry with myself, and like these little goals were being taken from me. So I'm going to make like more attainable goals.
Yeah.
And also for me, sleeping on the course like a trail nap, like a dirt nap, is like that's where it's at for me, dude. And like I do really, really well with like 15 minutes in the dirt, and then I'll push again for 2 hours, 3 hours, take another little nap, just quick, dude. And so I'm going to do a lot of that.
There are pictures of me all over this internet of my dirt naps all along the way through Cocodona, because every night I would get 2 to 3 hours sleep in the van, but it's not enough when you're moving for that long. And so taking those dirt naps, 15 minutes at max, they were golden. Like they were just so great.
Yeah. And I have a lot more it's like, they always say like you don't know what you don't know, and I have a much broader understanding of what's going to happen to me in Cocodona and what I'm going to have to work through. And hopefully I'm hoping that my feet will be tougher this next year. Because what happened was my feet just deteriorated so much earlier than I thought they would. And so I couldn't move as fast as I wanted to. And so I started falling behind on these cutoffs.
Yeah.
And then I mean, the sweeper caught me. I was sleeping in the dirt. And so I'm hoping that I can at least make it to mile, like, God, I'd love to make it to Jerome, maybe Dead Horse before my feet start to go. Because my feet were starting to go when I got to Crown King. So
yeah, that's
and
what, like mile 37, right?
Yeah, 37.
Crown King's at,
and it's like, dude, like I've only been running for a little over 2 years. Like I don't have like a huge foundation in my body of this long distance stuff.
yeah.
So
And the thing about getting the Crown King too is going up Lane Mountain is fucking brutal. Like it is rough. It is.
Dude, the first day was not. That was the best day for me.
Power to you, dude. Like, I'm not kidding you. I'd take like 3 steps and have to sit down on a rock, and then take 3 more steps and sit down on a rock. I was like, if the race is like this, there ain't no way.
Yeah, I felt great, dude, until I started going up to Camp Keepa. That's where I started to feel like shit.
Yeah.
And then it deteriorated from there. And I knew that like my race was probably going to end when I got probably to like Thane Ranch.
Yep.
A mile 97 and a half. And I was like, I just like, yeah, I was in way over my head,
Yeah.
And but it's like, like we talked about, like when you fail, like finishing that race or any of these 200s or whatever, of course, it's life changing, dude. But I think when you fail and then you say, I'm going to do this again, I think you get even more out of it.
Yeah.
That life changing experience is even more when you fail at something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, got my share of DNFs, and the lesson you learn from those DNFs, is greater than the lessons you learn from the successes, because you tend not to think about the successes. You tend to be like, I got it done, move on to the next thing. But when like, what did I do wrong? What could I change?
When you fail, dude, I dwell on it, dude. I dwell on it, and every time it's like every time I'm out running now, it's like every step for me counts.
Yeah.
Every step I take gets like my full energy, dude, because like I want to see that finish line.
Yeah.
And it's like in Sally McRae's documentary, she talks about, okay, we're just going to obsess with the finish line. Like I'm obsessed with getting to Flagstaff, and I have to be. Like that's the only way I'm going to get there.
Yep.
Because I know the pain that's coming to me this year. Last year I didn't know.
True. Like you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
And as you go through the process, you're like, okay, and you pick up those little nuggets of wisdom. And so now, for you, between now and from the start to mile 140, 142, you've already processed all of that stuff because you've seen it. And so you can be like, okay, adjust here and I need to adjust there, which can help extend the race even longer. And if you're strength training and being coached and going slower to go faster, like that, all of that is going to change your experience next year at Cocodona for sure.
Yeah, dude. And I feel like I don't even feel like I'm the same person as I was that was on the start line this last year. I kind of like went into the Oregon Cascades where I was like, okay, we're gonna race different, dude. We're gonna be confident. Like what you're doing out here. Your abilities, and like I finished that race strong, dude. And I got done, and I easily, like, if I could have had someone there to tape my foot up, do my feet, eat, take an hour nap, not easily, but like I could have ran that course backwards. Like I could have kept going. And so I know that I have these 200-mile races in me.
Yeah. And I think the thing that you talked about earlier is also a learning example for you, which is I don't need to have all the pacers and all the crew.
No.
Like that's So if I can lessen that stress, I can also now go long.
And the other thing I learned about myself was that it was hard for me to like accept the help. It sounds weird, but like I would get to an aid station and sit down and I have like 3 or 4 people around me, like, what can I get you? What? And it's like, I was like overwhelmed, you know? And it's like, and then all these people are taking time out of their life to help me. And then I fail. And it's like, those are things I think about now. I carry that with me. Like, you know, like Cocodona didn't just end in the desert for me on that morning. Like it is still with me. Like, and it's like, I can't wait to get back there, you know?
Are you and your coach looking at any events between now and Cocodona, or is the sole focus going to be on Cocodona?
I asked him about this 50-mile race in November I want to do, and we haven't like discussed it too much. And then I have not told him yet that I want to go do my own 100-mile thing out on the Hellz Bellz course. So we'll see what he thinks about that. But he's racing Cocodona too this year.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, that's cool.
It's cool. You'll have somebody start line.
He has psoriatic arthritis.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, he's done the Bigfoot 200, and I paced him. He did 100 miles this summer. I paced him for 50K of that, and so he's a badass dude. So he'll be at Cocodona.
We'll have to get him on the show too to tell his story.
The runner plumber, dude. If you watch this, man, we want to hear. Somebody tell me what his real name is.
So the email comes across as the runner plumber at blah blah blah.
Yeah, I just call him everyone just calls him plumber now.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey man, really appreciate you joining us. But before we let you go, we got to go through our fun food section of the show. You ready?
Yeah,
awesome.
Do it.
So Oreos, are you going old school Oreo classic, or are you going double stuff?
Oh, I like the double stuff, dude. For sure.
Licorice. Are you a fan of licorice?
If it's like red licorice, and it's got to be like soft enough, you know.
So like
I can
red vines.
I'll eat red vines, or the other kind that
Twizzlers.
Yeah, but it's got to be like soft enough. If it's not, dude, I spit it out. It's got to be like perfect.
What about Peeps? Are you a fan of Peeps?
No, I do not like Peeps.
We're coming up on Halloween, so candy corn is now on all of the shelves. Are you a fan of candy corn?
Yes, I love candy corn. I love it.
Why? It's like candle wax covered in sugar, dude.
I don't know, dude. I don't know why it gets such a bad rap. I think it's good.
Cheryl, you're right. Nobody likes candy corn.
Yeah, that's funny.
Peanut butter or nut butter, whichever one, in case you have allergies. Are you going creamy or crunchy?
Creamy.
Creamy. All right. So if you're going to make a nut butter and jelly sandwich, do you put the jelly and the nut butter on one slice of bread and then slam the other one over, or do you put jelly on one slice, peanut butter on the other, and then push them together?
That's how. Yeah, dude. I do not like mixing them.
And then, but you do realize when you put them together, they mix.
I know, dude, but it's like, I don't know. It's something about like the peanut butter and the jelly being on the knife together. I'm like, this is disgusting. I'm not eating this.
So you are anti-goober? You remember goober?
Oh yeah, dude.
In the same.
Yeah. No thanks. But I eat a very unhealthy amount of peanut butter. So
when you make your peanut butter and jelly sandwich, do you cut it in half vertically? Do you cut it in half and then half again for 4 squares diagonally? Or
diagonal. Always diagonal.
2 triangles or 4 triangles?
Just 2.
Just 2 triangles?
Yes.
And then you just eat it regularly, no problem. Like you don't turn the bread any particular way, just shovel it all in your face hole.
I eat it from one of the, the sliver ends, or always that to the other end. I would never take a bite out of the middle of it, dude.
Oh, that's exactly right. So we had a guest on one of our.
It's like eating pizza with a fork.
You blocked and reported if you eat pizza with a fork. Like, get out.
Blocked.
We had a guest on who said that she cut her peanut butter and jelly sandwich in half and then turned the bread and literally ate it like corn on the cob. So because she didn't eat the crusts, so she ate it like corn on the cob.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Dude, I love people. I find them fascinating. Their eating habits are hilarious.
That's funny, dude.
Are you a fan of red velvet cake, or do you think it's just bougie chocolate cake with red food dye?
No, I like it, dude. I think I can't. It's kind of top shelf, dude.
Top shelf.
It makes you feel special.
Where does carrot cake fall in the area of cake?
I like that. That's one of my favorite kind of cakes. What's that?
Are you gonna do you put raisins in the carrot cake?
I'll eat it, dude. I'll eat it, but it's not my favorite.
Without raisins is better.
Yeah, for sure.
What are your top 3 candy choices?
Oh, dude, I like the little mini Reese cups. You know, the small ones. And then those Andes mints.
Yes.
And then Nutter Butters. Those are my 3 favorites.
That's a good call. We always ask pineapple on pizza. Is that a yay or a nay?
Yeah, I like it.
So we're going to ignore that for now. So the other question we started asking is, do you put pineapple on a burger? Would you put pineapple on a burger?
Like if it's like a teriyaki hamburger, then I would, but not a regular one. Although, dude, I did try peanut butter on a hamburger the other night, and it was fucking bomb, dude. Never had it before. It was good.
What if it was crunchy? What if it was crunchy peanut butter?
No good. No, dude. So the reason I don't like that is because I have a retainer on like the bottom of my teeth, and those little chunks of peanuts, dude, will get stuck in there. And if I eat that in a race, it'll be stuck in there for hours. They're like the perfect size to get stuck in there.
So do you know like the Bobo's oat bars? You ever see those? It's a company called Bobo's, and they make like these oat bars and these oat things, and I love them. Like I can eat one every single day, no problem. But like the oats get stuck in my teeth, and like 4 hours later, like I'm still picking at it. Like that shit gets stuck. It's like it's embedded.
Yeah, dude, and your tongue gets like little scrapes on it. And yeah, dude, and then like the sores from all the fucking electrolytes, it's like just an awful feeling, dude.
So get this, at Cocodona, I was using Spring Energy, like because like you said, there's a ton of calories in them. And after like the first day and a half, I had so many sores in my mouth from that shit that I couldn't take it anymore. And so what I started doing is at the aid stations, I'd ask them to pour instant oatmeal in a Ziploc bag for me with a little bit of water, and I just made oatmeal mush, and then I would just squeeze it out into my mouth, and that's all I ate for the entire race.
Because I got terrible sores.
Yeah.
Is it from Spring?
I don't know if it's from Spring or just the sugars that, you're constantly taking in, but it was awful for me. And so
the other thing, dude, that I have to be careful with Spring is, dude, I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but it makes you go to the bathroom, dude. And it's not like, hey, I gotta like go like when I can. It's like now, dude. Like I'm like, and I was trying to explain this to my girlfriend the other day about how like when you're running and you have to poop, it's like it's now, dude. Yeah.
There is no waiting. There is no trying to find the right tree. No. Like it's right now.
And because I told her like in Cocodona, like I got like when I went through my pack, it was like, dude, there was like blood, there was like shit on it, dude. Like, and she's like, how does this happen? And I'm like, well, it's like I'm going now, like in the middle of this gravel road, like I'm going. Or, dude, like whatever. I mean, people on Instagram know me. I'll just tell this story. So at the Oregon Cascades, it was like midnight or something, and I had to go to the bathroom, and so like I was going, and then like I had like there was like a tree branch under me that so like it all went on a tree branch, so it like went all over me, and so but station, dude. And I like threw all my shit on the ground, and I'm like eating some soup, and she's like picking up the laundry, and I'm like, oh, be careful with that glove, babe. It's got shit on it. And she's like, so should I just throw it away? And I'm like, no, those are expensive. We will wash this. This is going to happen again and again and again.
Trail runners are a different breed, dude.
Dude.
So the first thing you need to make sure you pack for all you newbie trail runners is make sure you pack a shit kit. Like, you have to pack a shit kit in your vest. And then for me, the key is always being able to find a fallen log that you can hang your ass over there.
A fallen log? Oh, hang on, dude. I don't want to forget my son wants you to know that he paced me from Fane Ranch.
That's awesome.
No, he left. Emery took me from Whiskey Row goes to what's at the end of Granite Dells? What aid station?
Oh, dude, I can't remember.
Iron King to Fane Ranch. Emery paced me for that section, and I was hallucinating pretty bad, but I remember like some of it. But he wants you guys to know that. So
good job, Emery. But yeah, fallen tree is awesome. It's the best.
Oh yeah, dude, it's the best, and I don't know, yeah.
So I'll
pack
tell you
stuff.
A story. I was racing Rocky Raccoon, which is in Huntsville, Texas, and I had always wanted to break 19 hours at this event, and it's 4 25-mile loops. And on the third loop, I'm on pace. I'm on pace to break 19 hours. Like, I am fucking flying through this course. And like you said, when you have to shit at it, like running, you have to go. And I get to this fallen log, and I'm sitting on the edge of it, and the park ranger is in a golf cart. He comes driving by, right? And he's like, hey, are you all right? And here I am hanging off my ass off the edge of the log, and I'm like, he's like, oh, I guess you are. Just keep
dude.
By.
And dude, it's like, because it started happening to me on my way up to Camp Keepa, and like we had this like group text message going to my crew, and I was like, I can't stop pooping. I think I'm sick. And they were like, no, this happens. Like, you're fine. It'll pass. So it's like I spent the next 20 miles, dude, like just miserable.
Let's get us back on track.
Yeah.
So you have to eliminate one from your food intake. Are you eliminating sweet food, or are you eliminating savory food?
While I'm racing?
No. Period.
You
can only eat sweet food for the rest of your life? Or...
Dude, I would probably get rid of sweet food.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
Yeah.
You can make things up with savory food. Dude Wipes is right. Demaho 00.
Oh.
Wipes is right.
Yeah, dude.
Make sure you Dude Wipes.
I carry a ton of those.
Pop Tarts, frosted or unfrosted?
I like unfrosted.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just like the crust. Any like crust type stuff I like.
Tuna salad, egg salad, or potato salad?
Oh, potato salad, dude, for sure.
And what's in it? What's in the potato salad that's gonna make it utopia for you?
Just honestly, dude, I would be all right with just potatoes and maybe like a little bit of bacon or something.
Nice.
I don't need much in there.
Last question for you: chocolate chip or oatmeal raisin cookie?
Oh, chocolate chip, dude, for sure.
Hands down.
Hands down, dude, for sure.
Soft or like hard, like
soft, the chewy kind, soft.
Awesome.
Dude, like I like anything soft. Yeah.
Oh, so then let me ask you this: so on a brownie, are you taking the edge pieces?
No, like
or
the middle. Like the middle.
Are you cutting the pan in the middle and digging one out?
Yes.
You're that guy.
I will eat the edge pieces, dude. I'll eat those last.
Dude, thank you so much for coming on the show. I
am that guy. Every once in a while at work when I'm tattooing, I will take our stencil paper and like it's like a bigger than a normal piece of paper, and I'll put a little tiny design right in the middle of it, and cut that out and leave the rest of the paper.
Your artist mates must really love that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So.
All right, man. We'll have you on the show again. Really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, dude. It was a blast. Yeah, thank you.
We'll talk to you again soon.
Okay.
Have a good
dude.
night.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.